So I'm here today with Ellen, Kimberly, and Bobby, who you can't see right now. But they're going to share a little bit about what they're doing here at Maxwell Park in Anaheim. I'm sure elsewhere too, but go ahead, share.
Hi there, my name is Ellen. I'm president of a group called Text Which. We find missing homeless people for their families at their request. I have a group of over 400 moms and family members that all have kids on the streets. We find them when they're missing by feeding the homeless. It's called Text Which because we put a message on a sandwich. And we're in Anaheim in an area right now where I think this little girl is. Her name is Kaylee, and she's about 4'10", and she would have 2 black sparrow tattoos on her chest. And so we are going to the various parks around this area, and for the past 7 years we have found over 100 people by feeding the homeless and them giving us messages, almost like a scavenger hunt. But when they realize that we're family members looking for family, and it's the moms looking for their own kids, or whatever the situation is, they know that we're not the police, we're not social workers, and the homeless actually do help us out quite a bit. And that's why we get results. Putting in a missing person case on a police department's website is almost useless unless they come across these people in another incident. They're not actively looking for them. They're like taking a report and moving on. And sadly, I have had people sitting in a morgue for 3 weeks recently in LA. The parents aren't notified, and we're doing searches. And even then, they don't even do the fingerprints when they come in as John Does. They are 3 weeks behind.
Wow.
And they unplugged a guy that was on life support without even contacting their family.
Oh.
And he had fingerprints in the system, and they didn't tell him until 3 weeks later. That was in LA County. So because of the pandemic, the system is just overrun. And if it's not us looking for our own kids, there may not be anybody else, but maybe the people helping us. And this is why we go to the parks, and we ask that you share our flyers. We have a website. It's called Text Switch Volunteers. And we actually also have missing in Philly, and over 5,000 members there. We're doing the same thing in Philadelphia because that's another epic center for this crisis that we're in. It's unacceptable that over 120,000 people have died during the epidemic from overdoses. They're talking about the COVID deaths, but we actually have a pandemic within a pandemic. And these guys are kind of caught up in it. We're not getting the services. They're getting turned away. Some of them might have mental health challenges. And if they're smart enough to answer the questions, then they will get turned away, even if they are hurting themselves. They are walking around with wounds that are, septic, or, abscesses that could lead to blood clots in their heart. I'm seeing ferocious injuries, and they won't stay to get medical help because of the fentanyl. They just keep chasing it to their own detriment. And it takes a village to get these guys off the street. So we all have an action plan for every one of these kids. Before we start a search, we have a counselor that talks to the family, and we have a plan A and a plan B. And heck, even if they want to stay on the streets, we're going to visit them. I have visited some of the same people for years, and we'll just do welfare checks and ask them is it okay to call home, or let me take a picture if you stay on the street, just to let your mom know that you're still alive. And then when they are ready, they'll reach out to us, and we'll get them to rehab, detox, the airport. We have moms across the entire country that will stop at bus stops along the way on Greyhound and bring them sandwiches and meals to get them home. We don't want to lose them on Skid Row in Kansas or Chicago. So we get their itinerary, and I have people meeting them at their stops. And we all have kids or loved ones that are or were on the street. And when I say were, we've had a lot of people die, and it brings a bigger urgency to find these people. Wow. And I thank you because you're out here feeding the homeless and doing this outreach. And if we can connect together, it's the homeless that are going to help me find their brothers and sisters. And when they know it's their loved ones, it could make a difference. And the people that we feed, sometimes we get them to call home and they go home too, or, you know, it's blessings along the way. And we never have a bad day because we always feed people whether or not we find them.
Awesome.
So
That's
thank you.
so awesome. I'm so happy to be a part of this and just to help however I can. You want to share anything too? Or?
This is actually my first day out with Ellen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I've been a member of Text Witch for a while. My son is actually out on the streets too. Fortunately for me, I know where he's at most of the time. You know, I'm, you know, but I want to be able to help the moms who don't know where their children are. So
Thank you for
And
sharing.
a big part of our group is our closed group for the moms and the families, like dads. But if you have a loved one on the street, we are our own community and we lean on each other. We share each other's victories and sorrows, and we collaborate resources together. So it's Text Witch Moms That Love Street Kids closed page. And it's a place where you can come if you have a loved one on the street, and we all work together and we'll pull each other's kids out. If you can't help my kid, maybe Brian can get some help today. And it really gives us some purpose, because this is awful having me. I'm a only, you know, single mom. My only son is an addict on the street. But I can't necessarily change him right now. He may want help, but until then, I'm going to try and help others. And that makes it some sort of purpose to all of this pain. And, you know, it's awesome when we get them back home, and we have a lot of success stories.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. This is
Thank you.
in the Facebook, and then the phone number and all that for y'all. So please share this video. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook also if you'd like, and pray for these mothers. So heartbreaking.
Thank you. And if you Google Text Witch, Spectrum One did a little news story and followed me around, and you could just see different events that we've gone all over, San Francisco, LA, Utah, San Diego.
Yeah.
It's just all over.
Awesome.
So thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. So please,
Keep your eyes
yeah,
out for our guys.
that's right. You too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So please share the video, everybody. And again, you feel free to join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook. Thanks so much for your prayers and support. You'd like to share something else?
Yeah, Text Witch Volunteers on Facebook is our public page.
Great. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Thank you.
So awesome.